Okay, in the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we shall begin our class on the topic of one true God. So start from today. We have two sections, and also on Sunday, we have two more sections on this topic. So we're going to spend about 4 hours, 4 classes, to touch upon the concept or our basic belief of one true God. In my personal opinion, 4 sections, 4 hours for this class is a bit much for me. That I have to pick my brain and I have to struggle trying to figure out what to do for 4 hours to touch upon this topic. So as the result, as you might aware, as you might be as you might realize that up to this point that I talk way slower than I usually do, because I need to figure out a way to survive these 4 sections on this topic. Okay. It's for your benefit, right? I speak slower so that it's easier for you to catch up, to follow what I say. So here is the idea regarding to the concept of one true God. It is very important. Now, don't get me wrong. It is very important. It is the foundation of our faith. So it is not that we don't need to spend too much time about it. Is in fact, it is a simple and straightforward statement that we believe that there is only one God. End of class. Dismiss. Let's have now that would be very So for me to come up with 4 hours of material talking about the fundamental concept of one true God is not that easy. At least for me, it's not that easy. So this is the idea. For 4 classes, this is what we will do. Number 1, we will touch upon the general idea of theism. Theism is the concept of deity, the concept of God. So number 1, we will spend a little time to talk about the general concept of the deity, of the general concept of theism. Theism is talking about the broad concept about our understanding of God. And then after that, we will go from the general concept into the biblical concept. Then we will talk about the Bible reference. And apologize, we will do a lot of Bible reading verses. Okay, so from there, we will go into all the evidence regarding to the concept or the belief of only one God from the Bible quotations. And number 3, and then hopefully by then we will be in class 3 on Sunday, I hope. So in class, in the third part, we will talk about why is it important? Why is it important for you to uphold the belief of one true God in order for you to stand firm in your faith? So basically, without the concept of one true God, you cannot, in fact, you cannot be a true Christian. Okay, we will go further. We will elaborate further why I made such a statement. Okay, why I made such a statement. We will go further. Say why, if we do not believe that there is one and only God, how would that affect the foundation of our faith? Okay, so we'll go to that. And lastly, we will spend the remaining time to talk about the conflict that you might run into, especially when you run into people who challenge you with the Trinity, with the concept of Trinity. That we run into this quite often. People who believe in Trinity challenge your faith, and then you do not know how to respond or how to reply, or even to the point that you are not sure what is the differences between Trinity or Trinitarianism or versus the concept of one true God. We will touch a little bit upon that at the end of the class. Okay, so that's how I plan. That's how I plan to use the fourth section that we have. Okay, so let's go to here. Okay, let's read it together, huh? No, you don't need to unmute yourself. Just read it to yourself. Okay, so in here it says, the true God was manifest in the flesh as the Lord Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for the remission of our sin and was resurrected on the third day. Jesus is the one and only Savior of mankind, the creator of heaven and earth, and the only true God. Okay, so this is what I copied. Yeah, copy and paste. So basically, I copied and pasted from our TJC website. And I hope by reading this, you know where this came from. If you read this and you had no idea, and it sounds so unfamiliar to you, I will be worried because this is from the 10 article of faith, the basic belief of TJC. So if you go to our website and search the article of faith, okay, article of faith is what we believe in TJC. So if you go to the website and you will see exactly the same thing, exactly the same thing. This is the first article of faith out of 10. So in here, the 10 article of faith is the fundamental belief of TJC. And this is what make us or mark us different. This is what makes us different from other denominations. Okay, this is the foundation. This is the fundamental belief that we uphold that make us different than any of other Christian denominations. And out of all 10 of them, the first one is that we believe in one true God. And that one true God is Jesus Christ, who were born and who were crucified and who resurrected and opened a door, a way of salvation. Okay, that's what we believe. So why is this important? In here, the 10 article of faith is like the foundation of a house. That if you do not have the foundation built, or if you do not have the foundation built solid, perhaps usually you don't see the differences. You don't see the differences. But the problem is a house without foundation. When situation comes, when tornado comes, when the hurricane comes, when earthquake comes, when whatever comes, a house with or without foundation makes the major differences. Okay, but on the good days, you cannot tell the differences. Like when you go and buy a house, if you want to buy a house, you don't say to the owner, excuse me, can you lift up the house and let me see the foundation? I just want to check if it's good and solid. You cannot do that. Okay, so you are unable to see the foundation because it's buried underneath. But the problem is, though that you might not be able to see, and on the good days, that is the same. With or without foundation is all the same. In fact, house built without foundation, it costs way less. Let me tell you, when there's no foundation, the price goes way, 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 way lower. But you cannot tell the differences on the good day. But the problem is when the earthquake came. When the earthquake shake the ground, then that's when you can tell the differences. So brothers and sisters, that the 10 article of faith begin by one true God who manifests as the Lord Jesus Christ, that opened the gate of heaven, the way of salvation for you and I. That's the foundation. We will touch more. Later, hopefully on Sunday. Why such a foundation is crucial for the survival of our faith. Okay, so let's continue. Now, we want to, as I said, we want to spend a little time to talk about the general understanding of the theism, the view of deity, the view of God in our society today. Okay, so basically, of course, I have to let you know upfront. Okay, I have to state it clear that I am not an expert in scholastic study of religion. I am a church pastor. I study Bible, but in terms of the scholastic research regarding to the academic understanding of all this complicated theories, no, I am not an expert of it. So I can only provide you some of the basic, very basic concept, just for your reference. Not an expert in it, but just share with you some of the more common understanding. So basically, in our generation today, regarding to the view of deity, the view toward faith, or the view toward religion, basically is divided by three, occupied by three major categories. That we have the polytheism, which believe in many gods, multiple gods, okay, gods or goddess. And we have the monotheism. Mono means one, right? So then we have another major concept view toward religion, which is the monotheism. And then we have also quite common and getting more and more, which is the atheism. Atheism is that people who do not believe the existence of God, or they feel there is no need of God in life. Okay, of course, they are more than that. They it's not so simple. I'm only provide you the most general, the most common and general understanding, in a very superficial way, only on the surface. So when we talk about polytheism, basically in terms of polytheism, that people believe in the existence of many deities. That if you are familiar with Greek mythology, that's some kind of polytheism. That in the Mount of Olympus, that they have so many different gods that they came out from all the awful ways. Like one day, what was that? One day, Zeus, the god of gods, the god of thunder, he was having a headache. So what did he do? He took an axe and chopped his own head out open. And then another goddess, is it Athena? A goddess just popping out from the head of Zeus. You know that when you read about this kind of that's a mystic story, it just make you feel, come on, enough is enough. Okay, how far you were? Yeah, seriously, they go really far. They go really far of how all the gods and goddesses that came forth. So when it comes to polytheism, we find that usually people worship creations. What are the creation? For example, that they worship the sun, the moon, and the star. Okay, and what else? People worship the giant trees. I still remember many years ago when I was still in high school. I went back to Taiwan. I was in high school. I went back to Taiwan. And one of the church member invite me to go up to the mountain in the southern part of Taiwan, Jiayi, huh? And then they have like a 神木 it's just a huge tree that people call the tree god. So still remember vividly that we took the bus, we went up to the mountain, we checked on the tree, big tree. And then we stayed one day on the mountain in the something like Airbnb. We stay in the motel for a night. The next morning, as we were having breakfast, the brother showed me the newspaper provided by the hotel, the motel. And the first thing I saw on the front page on the title is, "The God tree is dead." I was just like, but we were there yesterday. We were just there. So it turned out that the night, after we went and saw the tree, then on that night there was a thunderstorm, and somehow that the lightning just I don't know how they decide that, but they say that the tree, though that is still there, but the life is not in there anymore. It's dead. Yeah, when the lightning struck on it or something, I have no idea. So I was just reading at the newspaper that what? So I guess we were the last visitor to the God tree, and now it's dead. So yeah, people worship those amazing existence, as we say, sun, moon, light, like stars or big trees or big rock, things that people that they feel amazed, then they took it somehow viewed it as gods. Okay. And also, people worship mystic figures, as we said earlier about the Greek mythology. People come up with stories, mythologies. People come up with a lot of just a man-made, mental stories. But then it was passing down, and it turned into a belief, that it turned into a worship. Okay. So as we say, like the mystic figures, like the in the Greek culture, that they have a lot of those mystic man create story or figures. That's the second type. And the third type is also quite common, that people worship the so-called saints and legends. Okay? So there were many great and mighty people who live a life of legend, a legacy, who leave the legacy behind. So perhaps at first, people were only in remembering of their good deeds, but somehow as time passed, that they godify the person. They turn the person from a hero into a God figure, That you find this very often. For example, that if you look into the Catholicism, that you find that they for some of their believers, that they will make them the saint, make them into the saints, as they were like the little gods, A few 2 years ago, I think it's like 2-3 years ago, that one day, I was in a store. I was in the store just to buy something, and I heard two women chatting. It was just a very unique. I was waiting in the line to pay, and I heard that the woman in front of me were chatting with the store clerk. Both of them apparently, both of them were Catholic. The reason I say that is because they were checking. They were talking about a bracelet, and the bracelet was made with many beans. At first, I didn't pay too much attention to it. I figure, girls talking about bracelet, nothing strange about, nothing unique about it. But it's the content of the conversation, because they were talking about the beans, and then the clerk, she was flipping the beans and say, "You bought the wrong one." I was just like, okay, I mean, a bracelet is a bracelet. How is it a wrong one? And then the clerk showed the woman, the customer, see, this is the figure of Saint so and so. And the saint is in charge of, if you lose something, he will find it for you. But that's not what you need. That's not what you need right now. Apparently, in their concept, at least in this two women's concept, that the customer has a specific need of help, and the clerk was helping her finding the right saints who were in charge of that area. Okay, this saint, specially in charge, if you got lost, Like I mean, the sand work as a GPS. If you got lost, you pray to do the sand. Okay? And if you need a job, this is the sand. You pray to this sand. This sand is in charge of finding a job. If you want a baby boy, okay? You want to be pregnant with a baby boy, this is the one. You pray to this sand. This sand is in charge of giving birth to baby boy. Oh, you want a girl? Girl is another one. I was in shock because because as I was born and grew up in TJC, I was quite blank. I was quite basically I have no idea regarding to I have very little idea about the actual practice of other denomination, many of other denominations. So I didn't know that for them, different God serve for different function. Just like how you when you play Pokemon cards, you have to make sure that you pick the right one. Pikachu, I choose you. You have to pick the right one. You pick the wrong one. Oh no, you are facing a water Pokemon. Then you need to call for. No, not Barbertoad. I only know a few. Charoso is for fire. Barbertoad is the one with the tree on the back. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize for not spending enough time playing Pokemon with my son. Okay? But you know what I'm saying is, seriously, when I was standing there, I feel so sorry for the so-called saints. It's like they have those pins they have the bracelet of Pokeball. And then they get to pick the one and say, oh, Saint Titus, I choose you. Yeah, but that's what people do. Unfortunately, and very sad, that people turn the so-called figures, heroes, or important characters, and then they godify the person. They turn them into gods, and then they worship them. They worship them. You know that I believe that you all been in a Chinese restaurant. Okay? So I'm not sure if you ever pay attention that when you visit, when you are in many of the Chinese restaurants that you enter, you will find a small shrine, either at the front door or on the side. You will find a small shrine that they worship the idol, the small shrine. But you probably, because you do not know Chinese history, so you probably the only response that you have is, oh, that's idol. That's it. But for those who know the Chinese history, if you pay attention to the so-called God that they have in the shrine, you will have a lot of question mark all over your head. Why? Because they worship Guan Gong. You don't know who he is? Guan Gong is a mighty warrior. A mighty warrior in the history of China. One of the strongest, most powerful warrior, like the hero of legend. One of the most powerful and most well-known mighty men in the history of China. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you admire, you adore, you worship the mighty man. But why restaurant? Have you ever thought, if you are in a restaurant, why would you want to worship a warrior riding on the horse, killing people? Okay, so out of my curiosity, I actually call for the owner of the restaurant. Yeah, I do that. I do that kind of things. So out of my curiosity, I just asked the waiter, can you, is the owner here? Can I speak to the owner? And you know what? The owner came out. At first, the owner thought that something went wrong with the dish. I said, no. Don't. It's okay. You don't need to apologize. It's not about the dish. It just, for my curiosity, why? Out of all the people in China history, why Guan Gong Why a mighty warrior? Yeah, because I couldn't figure out. And they say, do you know, according to recording of the history, that the Guan Gong, the face was very, very red. I was like, I know that. But then, how is it associated with the business of the restaurant? He said, red means fire. Red means prosperity. Red means a lot of money, a lot of business. I was so in awe. I was like, my goodness, I never thought about that. That instead of Guan Gong, you should worship the red pen. You know, go to Home Depot, pay $3.50, get a bucket of red pen and put it there. It's the reddest that you can get. Now the owner did not appreciate my joke. He was actually not very happy about it when I recommend for him to buy the red pen from Home Depot. Okay, so you know that this is what people do. People turn other people, historical figure, into the so-called God or goddess. Our concept, I know that for many of you who know not that much about Chinese culture, you might feel that Chinese are very into idol worshiping. Maybe in the recent decades, but if you really know Chinese history, in the old days, we don't believe in God. We believe in a universal existence of a superpower, but we don't have the so-called God or goddess in the ancient time. So, like for Taoism, Taoism was never meant to be a religion. It's a philosophy school. It was never a religion. In fact, Taoism and Taoist, the philosophical school of Taoism, and the emerge of the changing it to a religion, it was more than 500 years apart. So back then there was no the Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, were never treated as God until hundreds of years later. But as I said, that's what people do. People take the important or whatever the figure from the ancient, that the figure that they admire, figure that they feel so unique and special, and eventually it turn them into deities. Okay. So that's what polytheism, the common source of polytheism. Talking about monotheism, basically when we talk about monotheism, which means it's one God, that you found mainly in Christianity, in Judaism, and also in Islam. And the thing is, if you look into the root of all these three religions, basically you can say that they all came from the same source. Okay, you can basically say that they came from the same source. Even in Islam, they call the God Allah. Okay, but if you if you check and you dig into it, you do research on it, their so-called Allah or the Islamic God, if you trace, is also linked back to this God that was that was believed in Judaism, in Christianity, and Islamic. Somehow, of course, as I say, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert of it. But I know that even in Islamic, that they might call their God in different name. Like in Judaism, they call it YHWH. Sometimes we call it Yahweh. But if you link is all referring to this original God that created the universe. That was the all in all. That was the only. So we find, of course, Christianity. That's even the one God that we believe in Christianity, and the one God that Judaism believe is the same. It is referring to the same one in the Old Testament, in Genesis, that the God that create universe. So even so for you are a Christian. So when you talk about, oh, my God create heaven and earth, and a Judaism believer say to you, no, my God create the universe. And then you, the Christian, say, oh, no, you got it wrong. My God create universe, because Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And then the Jew will say the same. Oh, no. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 is our book. Why are you taking our book? So it's actually referring to the same. So for Christian, Judaism, and Islam, the three major monotheism belief is associate and connect very much to the same origin. Okay, so that's a monotheism. Atheism is quite common nowadays, especially in our generation, that people believe in the so-called science. Okay? People talk about science. People talk about that they only believe in what they see. So nowadays, more and more people proudly call themselves atheism. That they do not believe. I think here I gave you a name. The name is Friedrich Nietzsche. My pronunciation is wrong. He's he's from Germany. I actually Googled his name and asked Google to pronounce his name for me. I tried 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Couldn't get it right. Because it's not English. It's in Germany. So it doesn't matter how I pronounce it. It always wrong, and I bite my tongue. Okay. So he was a philosopher, a very well-known, philosopher from the 19th century. Why did I put his name down? Because he actually marked a significant role in promoting the people, the modern society, to walk away from belief. He wrote a book. I mean, he wrote a lot of books, but I think the most famous one is God is Dead. That he wrote a book named God is Dead, and it was a very, very common statement used by the atheist, that God is dead. But don't get me wrong. This philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, he might not be an atheist. I mean, he never openly proclaimed that he did not believe in God. He said that God is dead. I think, or again, I'm not an expert in it, but I think the concept is not about there is no God. His concept is about that as we enter into 18th century, 19th century industrial revolution and all the scientific discovery, that we single-handedly kill God or kill the concept of God. He believes, again, I am not an expert. I'm only share with you my very limited knowledge regarding to this aspect, and I could be not so correct. But I think because in the mid-century, when the Catholic control the mind or the whole society. As we know that in the for 1,000 years, basically Catholic controlled the whole European continent. Okay, so the concept of God were forced upon every individual. And as we know the history, in the name of God, they did a lot of evil. And they take the Bible away from the commoners. So in the mid-century, if you own a Bible, you might be burned. If they find Bible in your house, then they will drag you out of the house. They will burn you alive. Why? They don't want you to have the knowledge. Okay. They do not want you to have the knowledge. They want you to be ignorant. So whatever the Catholic fathers say, you say, oh, okay. Oh, okay. So they want all the common people to be fooled that they get to enslave the mind and then enslave the life, enslave the body. Okay. So then until the 19th century, because of all the industrial revolution, all the scientific breakthrough, all those like people are breaking away from the bondage of religion that was forced upon them. So Friedrich Nietzsche, I think that his concept is not that God never exists. His concept is now we have science, so we are burying God. Like we murder God, and we are getting rid of God from our mind and from our life. Okay, so and of course, many people they just took the concept of God is dead. We are free. Free to do whatever we want. That's why you can see from 19th century and on, you found a lot of movement of breaking away from rule and regulation. They found a lot of movement of free your body and soul. You find, especially even in United States, especially in United States, you find a lot of movement of indulgence in sexual immorality. Why? Because now God is dead. Break away. We are free. We are the ruler and controller of our life. So that's the book of Frederick. The concept, the influential concept of Frederick took an important part in the transition of human history. And other than the three major polytheism, monotheism, atheism, there is also the so-called agnosticism. This is very small. Agnosticism or non-religion or non-religious. Agnosticism, they are the people who say, I don't know. 不知论, I don't know. I don't know if God exists. Oh, okay. Time's up. Okay, we will conclude in here, and let's all pray in silence.